Where are you going?
Hi, Queen.
Hey.
Say hi.
Hey.
No, hi.
Hi.
Woman,
Hello.
come here.
Hello. He said something.
Is this fake grass?
I am videotaping.
Those in the back. The last time I'm going to ask you to please come away now. Sit down.
I think we're going to hear the real bio, not Yoni Fear's version.
I'm not going to miss up on this opportunity. Many of you probably don't follow Israeli politics, Israeli news, or whatever. But the man that lives in this caravan right here, Baruch Marzel, is in the news quite often. Unfortunately, I don't really care what the news has to say. But the fact that we're able to meet him in person is something I don't want to miss up. The fact that you guys could, I don't know if he remembers, but years ago when I was a bacher here, I was in his house, probably 8 a.m. maybe, stuff I don't remember. Hopefully one day you guys will be in Israel for the year, and you guys will be able to make contact with the people that live here in Chevron itself. This Kiryat Arba, but this is Chevron itself. If people wouldn't live here, we wouldn't have it. It's that simple. You don't have a place that you don't live at. So we're not the ones living here. Baruch is, and just to be able to meet him and to hear a few words from Baruch is a great opportunity. So everybody could give their respect.
Shalom. Well, living here is something that for 2,000 years when we sat on Tisha B'Av and cried that we're not here. Well, the minute we had a chance to be here, we came here. That makes a difference. You could make the choice also. Instead of staying in New York or who knows where, and crying in Tisha B'Av, you decide to come to Eretz Yisrael, and you made already half the way toward redemption of the Am Yisrael. When Jews say Eicha, so it's a question. Eicha Yashua Badad Eira Bat Yam. How the Yerushalayim, Eretz Yisrael looks this way. So Yirmiyahu that wrote Sefer Ra said, "Bachot tivke b'layla." We had the Chet HaVeraglim. We didn't want to come into Eretz Yisrael. We wanted to stay in the Midbar and learn Torah. And who knows, make a few dollars there. Not to come to Eretz Yisrael. So Abu Mislonim asks, okay, that's good for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. Why 2,000 years to have this Churban? Why 200 years? So the answer is the end of the pasuk says, "V'dimata lichya," that we still are crying. Some of the people are still don't feel that they have to come to Eretz Yisrael. They need Eretz Yisrael. They have to come to be part of the redemption. You're young people. You have still. It's easy still to decide. You want to be part of it. Want to be part of the history that we count. You know how many people in Am Yisrael aren't counted? No one sees them. No one knows they ever were in Am Yisrael. They weren't part of history. You could be part of it. We have the right to come here to live where Jewish history started 3,800 years ago. Abraham Avinu comes in to Eretz Yisrael. That's the first place he lived. The first 800 years ago, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, all the Shvatim, Otniel ben Kraz, Kalev ben Yefune, all the first 800 years are on this hill. And only after David HaMelech is 7.5 years as a king in here, people ask how do you live in a trailer for 29 years? I tell them it's a trailer above the palace of King David. It's even more than living in a palace above nowhere, who knows where. Next to a few Schwarzes in America, who knows. So we, Baruch Hashem, have the privilege to live here where Jewish history started. And we know it's not easy. It's not easy to be a Jew. You have to fight. You have to fight. Nothing in this world you get without fighting. But we know that if we don't have a right to live here where Jewish history started, on Jewish land. We own this land. We have all the papers for this land that was bought who knows how many times, but the last time 200 years ago, we don't have a right to live anywhere else in the world. And we're here, we're surrounded with a lot of Arabs. Arabs that don't like us. Arabs that support Hamas and want to kill the Jews. Surprise. You'll find out one day that that's what most of the Goyim want. But we're here because we know that if we don't have a right to be here, if we can't stay here, we cannot stay anywhere else. We're here because we know that that's what God wants us to do. How could we survive among so many Arabs? First, with God's help. God's help, you know that a year ago, we felt that the whole world is crashing on us. All the countries around Eretz Israel became Islamic. All of them became Hamas. And they started talking that they have to take over Jerusalem. Egypt became Hamas. Syria became Hamas, almost took over Syria. Libya, Tunis, Lebanon, were surrounded with hundreds of millions of Muslims. Everything looked like, well, we need a miracle. You know what happened? A miracle. Who would think a year ago that every day Al-Qaeda will kill Hezbollah and Hezbollah will kill Al-Qaeda? Will put bombs one against each other. Who would think that in Egypt they'll be busy fighting each other and the Egyptians will fight Hamas kill every day tens of Hamas from Gaza and steal all the gates into Gaza? Who would think that they'll do our job? Hashem yilachem lachem v'atem tacharishun. It's written in the Navi, Sichsachti Mitzrayim b'Mitzrayim. I'll make Egypt to fight Egypt. Look what's happening in Syria. We see how vicious they could be wanting their fellow brother. We know that, only today we saw a movie how they take off a head of another Syrian. So you can understand that it's not a good thing that will fall into their hands. We have to be strong. We have to fight. Bezrat Hashem, next time you come, we'll be here in Chevron, more Jews, less Arabs. Bezrat Hashem, we will have a Zula Shlema, in the Mikdash. And when you cry, when you sit on the floor on Tisha B'Av and say Kinot, it's not only to cry. Know that each one of you could be part of the redemption of Am Yisrael, could be part of the answer to the Kinot, could be part of the Geulah. And it's in your hands to be part of the Jews that, you know, every day 500 Jews assimilate all over the world. You know, there's more Jews assimilate in America than what Hitler killed in the Holocaust. And everybody likes to talk about the Holocaust. No one talks about the Holocaust that's happening all over the world today by assimilation. And no one could promise himself that he stays in America that his kids would assimilate. He cannot promise. So the only answer is to come to Eretz Yisrael, to be part of the redemption of Am Yisrael. Bezrat Hashem, to make your kids proud of you. If you did it, Bezrat Hashem, that they will have a better place to live in, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that's the best place in the world, Eretz Yisrael. Shalom.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey boys.